Hey, aloha, everyone. Michelle Melendez with Blossom Inner Wellness and StandTogetherHawaii.com, and I want to do a video on the LA fires because it is very similar to the Maui fire. And what is this book called? Great Maui Land Grab, What Caused the Maui Fire, and Is Your Home Next? Is your home next? Well, LA and California is my home state, so I'm just a little bit upset about this. Let me do a screen share, and we're going to go over the similarities that are happening there. And the first one I want to show you is this one, and then I'm going to show you some weather modification patents, everyone, because we have to understand that who controls the weather? The government, the federal government controls the weather.
Mopping 160 kilometers per hour,
The
a
wind.
gale strong enough to blow over a semi. And those winds aren't expected to stop blowing anytime soon.
So he's saying that it's about 90, 99 mile an hour winds. And what was happening in Lahaina, 30 to 80 mile an hour winds. And this part's really interesting. And this is a guy who was I'm just gonna do this right here and tell you guys what he says in a little bit. He was asked, is this the worst fire that you've seen? And he starts talking about these other fires. And he says, yes, this is the worst one I've ever seen. He said, but what's weird about this fire, and I'm gonna let him tell you this because he says what's weird about this fire is that it stays in one place. What else stayed in one place, you guys? Hurricane Helene. That hurricane stayed over Asheville. How is that possible? Well, I'm going to share with you how that's possible in a moment.
The Green Valley fire, that was the first fire I covered in the 90s. That was devastating. And then, of course, we had the Silmar fire in 2019, and that was a fire that we just drove around at night and everything was on fire. The difference here with this fire is this fire, again, doesn't have a path. It has just been lingering and has been staying, and it has been charring through the Pacific Palisades neighborhood for so many hours right now, and it just doesn't seem to want to leave, even though it says, I'm going to make a run to the beach, I'm going to make a run towards Santa Monica, and I'm going to make a run elsewhere. But right now, it's sticking in this neighborhood, it is sticking in the Palisades, and again, the entire Pacific Palisades still remains under evacuation.
All right, Robert, thank you for that. Robert's right about that. It has no direction, or better said, it has every direction. It changes direction.
It changes direction. It changes direction, but it's not going anywhere. He's saying it's staying in this area. And then they're going to go to this woman who says something very, very interesting. And let me find my notes here because I'm going to go to 2750 because she says something very interesting here. I'm going to let her speak about this.
Drive down Altadena Drive, and as we continue our way, we just see homes and the Jewish Temple and Center burning. This is where my colleague Macy Jenkins was out live earlier, where it was burning for several hours, and you can see it is continuing to burn. We're watching this roof just go up in flames, and it looks like this entire building it's a massive center. It is just crumbling with the intensity of the heat. We see just a skeleton, some walls, some fencing. We see a play set, but this roof, every time we get a large gust of wind and it comes in, that fire flares up. And it looks like the concrete and the metal is just melting right here. I'm joined by this man right here, Alex.
So what did she just say? What did she
sir,
just say? She just said it looks like the concrete and the metal is just melting here. The concrete and the metal. How does concrete melt? Like, what does a regular wildfire melt concrete? No, it does not melt concrete. That is not a regular fire. And then I want to show you guys this here because this is also really interesting. 30. Go, actually, sorry, I'm going too far.
That was in different.
Sorry, here we go. Because maybe I should just tell you here. She just talks about how rapidly it's moving. She just talks about how fast it's moving. This is the other one I wanted to share with you. Check this one out.
We have an extremely dangerous situation developing here in Southern California as people are racing to evacuate their homes as a wildfire explodes in Pacific Palisades.
As a wildfire explodes, when does a wildfire explode? And what did people in Maui say? There were explosions happening. It was like a war zone. It was fireballs through the air. And now we have a wildfire, not forest fire, wildfire explosion in Pacific Palisades.
There was a major traffic jam forcing people to abandon their cars on the road and run toward the coast for safety. What you're seeing here.
Okay, where else? Where did that happen, everybody? Where did people abandon their cars and run for the coast? This
is a picture from the airport. You could see how much the smoke was blanketing the city of Los Angeles. And here is an idea of the fire that they are dealing with. And then you could see those flames shooting into the sky in this neighborhood. In just a matter of hours, the fire consumed nearly 800 acres of the most expensive land and property in this country. Weather conditions described as life-threatening, destructive, and widespread. The National Weather Service warning of extremely critical fire danger as Southern California experiences the worst wind event in over a decade.
So let me just show you guys this. People who don't believe in weather control. This is a U.S. patent, May 7th, 1948, process for controlling weather. The invention relates to a process of affecting changes in weather condition, and more specifically, a process in it says to dissipate clouds. But this patent can do anything with the weather. It can make clouds, it can make wind, it can make a sunny, beautiful day. This is patent number 2550 324, May 7th, 1948. Okay, so this is another one. This is for a laser, desired space beam based laser weapon that is available to actually a laser uses a giant capacitator to project a non-nuclear laser death ray. The target could be a city, a ship, or a satellite. So very interesting. But then there's also this here. Where is it at, Michelle? It is here. No, that's the laser beam. And I don't want to get on the whole laser beam thing. This is a Dragon's Fire laser that is available, that is available. No, I guess I'll just Dragonfire. I'll just go ahead and let this play a little bit here so you guys can kind of see that this is available. I'm not saying that's what is going on here, but this is available.
Laser directed energy weapon system in action, and it could be in the hands of military personnel in 5 years' time. It destroys targets with an intense beam of light and has pinpoint accuracy. It's able to hit something the size of a £1 coin from a kilometre away.
So it's very accurate. That thing is very accurate. Then I wanted to show you guys, where is it? It's this right here. Forest fire as a military weapon. Final report, June 1970, U.S. Department of Agriculture Forest Service. And this is an advanced research projects. And this is literally saying that the forest fire as a military weapon. Okay, U.S. Department of Agriculture Forest Service. And this is right now. This is available right now, everybody. In 1965, the Joint Chiefs of Staff requested that the Secretary of Defense initiate research to determine the feasibility of measuring the flammability characteristics of forest and jungle growth to modify flammability so the vegetation would be readily support combustion and developing measures to destroy large areas of forest or jungle growth by fire. So they have also, this whole report talks about how they can do this anywhere. It doesn't have to be a forest. It can be a neighborhood. It can be forest flammability can be greatly increased by killing all shrub vegetation, selecting optimal weather conditions for burning and igniting fires in a pre-selected pattern. So this is available right now. Again, this was in 1970. This is the forest fire as a military weapon, final report 1970. So we see that they have the patents. We see that they have the ability to do this. We see the same things, that winds that are absolutely insane. The fire is staying in one spot though. And in Maui, the fire went in all 4 directions. It even went against the wind. We see people abandoning their cars, running for the coast. We see it's just there's been also many, I was watching some videos about there's no water, but where's the water? Things like that. So I just want to say to everybody, please be safe. Have a to-go bag in your car with food and water and extra pair of clothing and toiletries. I have a to-go bag in my car at all times. We just don't know. And my biggest thing is like, how can we stop this? And the only thing I can think of is to contact your state representative and say, we know that direct energy weapons is being used. Please look into this and please stop. Please help the people. I don't know what else to do besides that and pray to the infinite creator, because I feel like this is happening for people to wake up. And I guess the other thing would be to do is share this freaking book, because this book has said this is the second edition of Great Maui Land Grab, What Caused the Maui Fire and Is Your Home Next? Okay, you can get this at Great Maui Fire Book. I'm sorry, Great Maui Land Grab Book, greatmauilandgrabbook.com. It's already won a third place in the true crime book contest under the American Book Fest competition. And what's important about this book is it tells people who owns America and why this is happening. This is happening because these places are poster children for the renewable energy companies and the electric companies that want to bring in their electric vehicles that are going to skyrocket electric prices. People's electric bills are going to be much more higher. These cars are more dangerous. They're also way more easily controlled. If the grid goes down, you're going nowhere. If the grid goes down and you have an electric vehicle, you are going to be stuck wherever you're at. So that is by design as well as these renewable energy companies that are bringing in these smart cities that want to get rid of the infrastructures that really support us to stay free, because these renewable energy companies, what is one of the first things that they're putting in are surveillance. That's the S for smart. Surveillance, monitoring, I can't remember the whole thing right now. Report is the second to last one. Analyze, report, technology. Smart. Surveillance, monitoring, analyze, reporting technology. So that's the goal. So please be safe. Share Great Maui Land Grab book. Make sure your family has an emergency evacuation plan, and then get into a relationship with your higher power and start trusting your heart. I was crying earlier because I was talking to this one younger woman, and she has no clue. And I was like, have you ever seen a regular forest fire? Have you ever seen a picture of a regular forest fire that burns the trees and burns the house? The house is not fully gone. It's not dissolved into white ash. You see the stove. You see the skeleton of the fridge and the porcelain toilet. Nothing is just white ash and completely dissolved with the trees still standing there. And I was just, I was a little slightly upset, especially right now because California is my state, my home state. Anyway, let's pray. Infinite creator of all things, gosh, give this to you. Thank you for the inner strength that we all need, including myself right now in this time. I trust you, Great Spirit. I trust this journey. I know that whatever needs to happen right now for the evilness that is on the planet, and for these people who do not value human life, other people's property, who do not value freedom, we bind them right now. We bind them with the light of truth and the light of love, of infinite love that surrounds us, is in every single cell of our bodies, is in the empty space that we walk through. We bind all those people who want to harm other people and take what is not theirs and force people into further slavery. We bind them right now from doing any more harm. We know that this is done. We say this in the name of freedom, in the name of Yeshua. We say this in the name of truth and of light and of love. We bind them right now, Great Spirit. And we just know that right now you are giving so much courage to those people right now who are afraid afraid for their lives, afraid for their homes, afraid for their families. You give them inner strength. We call that forth now. We call forth all the angels that have ever been and ever will be. We call them forth right now into LA and all places that are under attack right now, that they keep the people safe and that they give inner strength to those who are fighting this fire. And we ask that right now, the direct energy weapons that are in play, that they do not function anymore. They do not function. We call that forth right now, Great Spirit. We know it. We claim it right now. We claim it in the truth, in the light, and in the faith that we have in the infinite creator that is you, Great Spirit. We call that forth. And so it is. Sending you and your ohana so much inner strength and aloha. Please get your copy. Share this book, greatmauilandgrabbook.com. If you put truth in the coupon code, truth, you get 10% off, and just share it with your friends and family so that people know what the heck is going on. And please do get a to-go bag, something that is going to make sure that you are safe if and when anything comes to your neighborhood. So sending you guys much aloha from the Big Island.